Just look at this amazing device created 2000 years ago. What do you think it is capable of? Ancient unimaginable robots, antique telescopes, computers that were taken from the bottom of the ocean after millennia, and other amazing inventions of our imagination in this issue. Today, I will show you the most unimaginable ancient technology. How did they even think of this? Thanks for subscribing, leaving likes and comments. You are the best. Jeanhaines Seismoscope. In fact, this is a seismoscope that registers earthquakes with the same accuracy as modern instruments. This ancient device was so accurate that engineers still can't solve the mystery of the device's inner workings. It is believed that the pendulum inside the copper vessel was set in motion during an earthquake, even if it happened hundreds of miles away. The pendulum actuated a system of levers that opened the mouth of one of the 8 dragons on the outside of the vessel. In the mouth of each dragon was a bronze ball. This ball rolled out and fell into the mouth of the frog under the dragon, making such a loud ringing sound. Iron pillar from Delhi, and this is an ordinary iron pole at first glance, but it is included in the 7 wonders of the world for a reason. This Delhi pillar has not rusted a millimeter in 1500 years. This fact raises many questions among scientists. This structure was erected in 1415 in memory of Chandragupta II, the emperor of the Gupta dynasty, who died in 413. On the pillar, there is an inscription in Sanskrit: King Chandra, beautiful as the full moon, reached the highest power in this world and erected a column in honor of the god Vishnu. However, the column did not always stand in this place. Initially, it was located in the east of the country. Only in 1050 was the pillar transported to Delhi. The weight of the iron colossus, according to various estimates, is 6.5 to 6.8 tons. The height of the structure is 7 meters 21 centimeters, almost like a 3-story house. But most importantly, the content of pure iron in the Delhi pillar is 99.72%. But what is the secret why the column does not rust? Especially in India, where the monsoon rains pour all summer from June to September. And how did the ancient Indians manage to carry out the process of forging a colossus of almost 7 tons? After all, they did not have modern technology. Most likely, the method of powder metallurgy was used to manufacture the column. A sponge of wrought iron was ground into powder, then sieved and heated to a red heat. Then they flattened with a hammer into a single hole. And scientists believe that the secret of stainless steel is hidden not in the iron itself, but in impurities which are so few in the Delhi pillar. Metal samples were taken at the beginning of the 20th century. It turned out that the content of phosphorus in them is 5 times higher than in samples of modern steel, but the concentration of manganese and sulfur is much lower. Antikythera mechanism. The next main character is a unique artifact raised from the bottom of the Aegean Sea by the Greek diver Lycopantis in 1900. The artifact was found on a sunken ship at a depth of 62 meters near the island of Antikythera. It turned out to be the oldest computer. It is difficult to say who exactly created Antikythera mechanism, but it is known that this is a calendar, not simple, but with the functions of an astronomical, meteorological, and cartographic device. The Antikythera mechanism is considered the first instance of a mechanical solar system, a planetarium, and an astronomical clock. And of course, it is rightly called the first analog computer. Who knows, maybe there are older versions that have not yet been discovered. So how is it set up? Many of its parts were damaged, rusted, or covered with layers. Many fragments contain incredibly fine millimeter scale detail and thousands of text elements. The main aspect that was involved in ancient astronomy is periodicity. The movement of the planets, which can be observed from the Earth, occurs according to a certain schedule, that is, with certain synodic cycles. Understanding them, you can build predictions about astronomical events. Greek fire. Since the 19th century, researchers have been trying to unravel the mystery of Greek fire, and the controversy has not subsided so far. The prototype of Greek fire appeared presumably in 190 BC, that is, when it was used in the defense of the island of Rhodes. Most historical sources attribute the invention of Greek fire to the mechanic Callinicus of Heliopolis. For a long time, Greek fire remained the terrible secret weapon of Byzantium. The composition was placed in a closed vessel, which was thrown by a throwing machine at the enemy. The historian Theophanes wrote that the vessels with the mixture were thrown with catapults at enemy ships during the siege of Constantinople. The liquid flared up on contact with air, and it was impossible to extinguish the fire. Water only intensified its burning. Initially, Greek fire was used only in naval battles. What do you think this fire was actually used for? Write your guess in the comments, and I will show the best of them in the next video. Humanoid robot. Even in the Hellenistic era, 4 gilded female figures were installed on the lighthouse built on the islands of Pharos. During the day, they burned in the rays of the sun, and at night they were brightly lit, so that they were always clearly visible from afar. These statues, at regular intervals turning, beat off the flasks. At night, they made trumpet sounds, warning sailors of the proximity of the shore. The prototypes of robots were also mechanical figures created by the Arab scientist and inventor Al-Jazari in 1136. He created a boat with 4 mechanical musicians who played tambourines, harp, and flute. A drawing of a humanoid robot was made by Leonardo da Vinci around 1495. This is evidenced by Leonardo's notes found in the 1950s, containing detailed drawings of a mechanical knight able to sit, spread his arms, move his head, and open his visor. In the 16th century in Western Europe, the design of automatons became widespread. Clockwork mechanisms that outwardly resemble humans or animals and are sometimes capable of performing quite complex movements. The collection of the Smithsonian Institution is one of the earliest examples of such automata. The Spanish monk, about 40 centimeters in height, able to walk by hitting his chest with his right hand and nodding his head. Periodically, he brings the wooden cross in his left hand to his lips and kisses it. Yes, our ancestors could have made such amazing inventions. Well, we are making a stop. Subscribe to my channel if you like this video and join our communities using the links in the description to keep abreast of events from the world of science and space. Hugs!